It was drafted twice as often in the West, but they lost every game.
Yeah, before this event, I guess I would have said that, and it was a little bit more true. But yeah, there were so many Ember picks in the wild card, and there were a surprising amount yesterday. If stats serve me right, is his win rate positive right now on this?
It's negative
event?
overall at
negative
TI5.
overall at TI5. Okay, that's what
I assume excluding wild card. Because a lot of the stats have been excluding the wild card, but
I'm not sure.
Ember's pretty darn good here. Damage over time, good against Bloodseeker because it's all magic damage, at least until he gets BKB. And not to mention you can stop him from moving for up to 3 seconds using Searing Chains at relative safety. So, and Rupture as well, it's not that big of a deal. As long as you have a Remnant far, far away, it does no damage to you as you jump away. So
yeah.
Ember Spirit is, as a whole, very good against Bloodseeker, but if Ember Spirit doesn't have an escape and he's silenced, he's going to die, because he has very low armor, very low agility gain for an Agi hero, and he builds all damage items, so his armor doesn't get any better there. So there's a chance that Bloodseeker will be able to kill him, but right now this lineup just looks so good for CDEC, and I feel like Empire drafted themselves into a weird support duo, and then further made that worse with the offlane Darkseer. That's a new hero.
Invoker. Not very popular on this patch, but still, I think, definitely underrated, which is not a very bold claim given that he is picked almost never on 6.84.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively Quas Wex as well. There's been very minimal Exort play.
I don't know what kind this is going to be. They don't have a setup for Sunstrike, so surely it has to be Quas Wex.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a Forge Spirit build as well. I'm not sure what the win rate of NCS from Invoker mid is versus an Ember, but I feel like Exort, going to Quas Exort build would be pretty good. Again, low armor on Ember Spirit, so you can punish him in that way.
Yeah.
But at the same thing, if Ember gets ahead and you're playing Exort Quas, you're going to get wrecked, and that's why they pick the TA here, because they're like, all right, we don't actually want to lane an Ember Spirit versus an Invoker. We'll play him in a farm role. We'll do an aggressive dual lane with a Tusk Undying, and we'll see if your tri-lane can deal with it. And it is going to be a tri-lane Bloodseeker, so Resolution's going to have to go 1v1 versus the TA, and that is not a good matchup. And I'm pretty sure that's going to force them to have to even maybe put Winter Wyvern to harass mid, perhaps, because it's just historically a bad matchup for Invoker.
It's historically a bad matchup, and also forcing Bloodseeker into a tri-lane is never ideal. We've talked about that quite a bit throughout our string of games today. He was actually even in a tri-lane in the last series we saw, at least for a little while, and we saw some of the weaknesses of that. So, yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. This Empire draft feels a little funky, at least on paper. I guess we'll see how they execute. They do have a fair bit of team fight, though, once they start to group up towards that mid game.
Yeah, they do. I think the Iron Shell from Darkseer is going to do a decent job at harassing the Ember Spirit, at least in the first couple levels. He can use his Flame Guard to block the magic damage, but only blocks so much, and to be honest, I feel like it'll actually get burned through quite rapidly from the Iron Shell. So, we'll see how things go. I think a lot of this is going to come down to the mid lane, honestly, and if the dual offlane for CDEC, I assume it's a dual offlane, if it gets a bunch of kills, they're obviously going to snowball the game, I believe. But the lanes to watch, the mid lane and the off lane for CDEC, I believe.
Okay. So with that, we'll introduce some rosters here. Game number 1 of Empire versus CDEC. We've got Yoku on the Darkseer. He's stationed up in the safe lane, so it appears Empire will go for the aggro try. Resolution on the Invoker. Going Super Saiyan mode here. I'm loving it. Silent here. He's on the Bloodseeker, and he'll be joined by Aloha Dance on the Winter Wyvern, as well as Always Want to Fly on the Dazzle.
And for the Dire Team CDEC, we have Aggressive playing the Ember Spirit in the safe lane, putting a little bit of a lane ward down in the off lane. Got XZ playing the Tusk, partnering up here with Garter on the Undying. And the two supports, Q playing Lina, and Shiki playing Templar Assassin. Am I missing a support? Oh, it's the either the Tusk or the Undying, depending on.
Yeah, Garter is usually the support player of the two.
Okay, they both have Stouts, actually. They have the same item build.
Stout and Mango.
Okay. So they really want to win this duel off lane, and that means that the other support probably really sacrificed the Lina. Not that much, actually. So yeah, I guess they don't have that much regen, that's probably why.
Okay. So we'll see how these lanes shape up. Will Empire commit to the aggro try, or will they do something different? Appears to be the former. Aloha Dance poking around in the mid lane, but he will flap those wings towards the top. This is a very interesting aggro tri lane from Empire. Not a trio of heroes that I would normally peg to be in position.
Dance might be in trouble.
Yeah, walks right up to the high ground, takes the decay straight away. LSA from Q.
He's fine.
But I don't think they have the follow-up damage. Yeah, doesn't even need to use the Arctic Burn. He's fine.
He has the boots advantage over his opponents. I think he wanted to ward maybe right on that hill or something for some vision or something, but I'm not quite sure. A lot of damage being on his TA. He could actually die here. This is pretty dangerous. He's solo. He's got refraction. He pops a cold snap, comes through. That might be enough. They get him in the first blood. Holy crap, that was not... Oh, man. He was like, oh, I want that CS. That's going to be totally fine, but the damage sources from Winter Wyvern there just absolutely cut through him.
Oh, my gosh. Aggressive. He goes for the Searing Chains right as the creep wave comes in, and instead of hitting both heroes, it hits 2 creeps instead. That probably would have been a follow-up kill here in favor of CDEC, but... Oh, nice heal bomb there from the Dazzle. Very unfortunate for the Ember. Yeah, already starting with a bang.
So it's a Darkseer versus Tusk 1v1. That's pretty good for Darkseer, but that does force Silent to have a rough time in the off lane. So, and Aloha Dance is going to continue roaming on the mid lane, most likely to make sure that Invoker doesn't get completely wrecked. So the sacrifice is going to come top. Silent will get less farm and just might die.
Yeah. Is this a worthy trade-off? Bloodseeker, as we've talked about, is one of those heroes that doesn't really play that well from behind. When he really shines is when he can get a good start and stay an item or half an item up over the opposition. This feels like, of all the heroes to put in this kind of a sacrificial lamb role...
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I think the hero does need to get some guaranteed farm, and that's why he's going to the jungle right now, and I think this is the right solution, because against 3 heroes, it's too dangerous, honestly. Always Want to Fly is going to stay top, though.
Uh-oh, Shiki in trouble again here in the mid lane. The Cold Snap comes out. He doesn't have any more refraction. The Arctic Burn helped tick it off, and that should be another kill. And Volker picks this one up again, and Silent, well, he's at least nearby to get some extra XP and gold out of it.
That was pretty cool, and even Silent rotating over, he gets some experience gold, or some AoE gold, sorry.
Yeah.
And picks up a Quelling Blade as well, so he's just gonna jungle, man. Pubs, they teach you things.
You know, you said in this draft, there's no way he's gonna jungle, but I guess where there's a will, there's a way. He doesn't have too many choices.
He wasn't going to start jungling, you know.
He was never intending to jungle.
Yeah, but now that it's in this position, it's absolutely worth it because he's not going to be top. And there's no reason to bring Dazzle in the jungle as well because he can just sap experience. He's level 3 already.
Yeah, this is great.
Just transitioning to the old offlane Dazzle. Totally normal, good stuff. Happy times. Gets a boots at almost 3 minutes. Like, that's great for him. And this is overall now leading to a really big experience gain. If they would have started with this, CDEC probably would have just aggressive tri-laned and completely punished him. But because they're in this position, it's okay.
Yeah. Look, even Q, he's losing the harassment battle to Always Want to Fly. Dazzle needs to be careful, though. No points in Shallow Grave. 100% down, but he gets the kill first, knowing his limits. That's the power of the Dazzle right there. Nicely played.
What a great kill from Always Want to Fly. I thought he was screwed there, but getting that kill before his opponent killed him, I think that's worth it. He got a Sentry Ward out of that, so a bit of a gold advantage there.
Yeah.
You know, in some ways maybe not the best, but let's see, Dazzle got Lina and then Ember Spirit got the Dazzle, so a bit of an advancement for Ember Spirit, but it really screwed the Lina over. Look at her items now, 100 gold and a TP scroll, so it's beneficial to the Dazzle and it's really detrimental to the Lina. So even though the Ember Spirit got some advancement out of it, I think it's going to hurt the Lina in a huge way, and that's the hero to kill that early and punish if you can.
Yeah. Darkseer versus Tusk, kind of a farm war, both sides just getting a lot of CS. Neither really able to kill each other too easily in these early levels here. The mid lane, even though Resolution has been able to set up kills on Shiki twice, still not really winning the farm war. This TA,
it's tough, man.
Living up to the matchup expectation.
Ooh, we lost his clarity pushing there. He does have phase boots, so his damage is a lot better now. A little bit of engagement top.
Yeah, Yoku's rotated up top alongside Always Want to Fly. Dire Courier gets picked off by Aloha Dance.
They can be really aggressive with this because, you know, Darkseer's already going to be in melee range, and then you can just cast Shadow Wave on top of him to do a mix of magic and physical damage. And now, aggressive, despite getting that kill, is in a really bad spot. And then XZ on the bot lane as Tusk is going to hit level 6 really fast. But Bloodseeker can kind of just jungle if he feels unsafe, so this is looking really, really good for Empire right now.
Uh-oh, they scout out aggressive. Yoku puts on the Ion Shell. He's going to move into the tree line here, and this could be rocky for the Ember Spirit. We'll have some support nearby, though. It's Garter. Tombstone's down. Decay on 2. Always Want to Fly. Needs to be a little careful here. He did hit level 4, so he does have the Shallow Grave. But another Decay stack, and they are in big trouble. All right, Heal Bomb to try and deal with some of these creeps.
And they killed him again. These creeps are not dying to the tower. The tower's taking damage. Tombstone's gone. Pops the Clarity Potion, get a little bit of heal up here. And he's going to wait to do damage to this if he can.
Empire already with a 1,500 net worth lead, 500 experience in their favor. And, this is a kill down bottom, but here in the mid lane, this is what they're setting up for. Shiki in a lot of trouble. They were ready with a dust. No more refraction. They've just got too much damage. Tornado will connect. Will they actually get him here? Shiki live one more.
1 HP. He actually had 1 HP. Aloha Dance healing up now from Cold Embrace. He should be able to escape this, I think. Popping a tango, he's going to run people far away. And he's actually got a soul ring out of that. So he bought up before he died. Not the worst thing in the world there, but they definitely wanted that TA kill.
Yeah.
That's damage variance right there. That means if one hero happened to RNG to do slightly more damage with their ranged attack, that was a dead TA. So bit of a big loss there.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Empire, but still they forced the TA back to the well, so Resolution gets some space in the lane. Lina trying to leak some XP, could just get picked off here. Hasterin makes juking that. Never mind, he got hit by the LSA, but now he's going to be able to chase him down. That last auto attack secures the kill, and Resolution finds himself a killing spree.
Really nice here to get an early haste on, because he doesn't usually spend his early money on a bottle, so he's got this extra 24 damage that most heroes don't have at this point. Normally they just have bottle and brown boots, so it's kind of cool to see him be able to get that extra leverage out of runes.
And in the bottom lane, they did get a kill onto Silent.
Yeah, a second one? Oh,
yeah,
man.
A second kill.
And that's the person they need to pressure, the person that's behind. And Nalina went there immediately upon being behind, and now she's caught up because she just sat behind, went on in with the Tusk, and did the follow-up stun the first time. Don't know what happened the second time, but a twice dead carry is a bad place.
Yeah, Yoku putting a lot of pressure on this top lane, though. He's just unrelenting here. Not much the Undying can do about it. Any melee hero just struggles against Darkseer in this kind of a scenario. Tower down to about 250 HP. And we'll try to find some extra gold for their Bloodseeker, who needs anything he can get, though. On that same token, Shiki is actually below the Bloodseeker on net worth, so something to be said for pressuring this TA as much as CDEC is pressuring the Bloodseeker.
And Silent even having a little bit of trouble jungling here. Oh, please don't die. He's gonna be okay. Alright, there's the big heal. He's got Rupture now, so this means that he can start getting some golden experience through Rupturing. And the rest of the CDEC says, hey, where's Bloodseeker? Let's go find him and let's kill him. We'll see if they find him. Good ward, I like that. It'll spot him.
Nice high ground ward there. Take a look at how much vision that gives. Even a little intel towards that mid lane.
Dire's top tower.
So aggressive. How's he looking here? Phase boots up. Turning into the off-lane Ember Spirit for now, but it's been pretty good to him.
Dire's top tower.
There's the end of the tier 1 tower up top. Yoku will finish it off, and it'll be the beginning of his mech. Headdress now secured.
Just one of the really nice things about Darkseer, like, he wins so many 1v1 matchups, and if he isn't against a tri-lane, he can just abuse your lane and get a ton of farm, and that's exactly what he's doing. 51 CS, including some neutral creep, so... And very quickly pressuring top. They find a courier. Will they get it? It does go down. That's 500 gold. I don't know what that was in the courier, but... Oh, it was a glove of haste.
Here. Oh, yeah. For Shiki.
Yeah, so delayed treads by 3 minutes.
That's actually pretty huge. Garter up top. He gets dove on Cold Snap, sets it up. He'll try to heal himself, but the Soul Rip just isn't enough. Now Q, he's here. Ghost Walk from the Invoker, but Yoku, he gets left behind. Nowhere to go but death. Shiki trying to pressure Aloha Dance. Resolution. Will he reveal himself here? I think he's just going to run and let his support die. Yep, absolutely. So it ends up being a 1-for-2. Kind of an overcommitment there from Empire.
Yeah, not so worth it there. It took a little too long to kill the Undying in that fight. He just kept on surviving.
Yep.
So, despite delaying the treads on the Templar Assassin, she's still able to get a lot of gold and experience out of that kill. And she'll be really happy with that, considering her start.
So, again, glancing at the graphs, it's Empire still holding on to a decent lead, about 3k net worth, 1,500 experience, just shy of the 10-minute mark. All three of their cores on the top of the net worth chart itself. Very impressive. I still can't believe how well this Bloodseeker is farming after this abysmal start.
Wow, he actually is really high. You're totally right. Although some of those may be neutrals, and they give a lot less gold per kill.
No, even just his net worth. He's 30. He's even with the Ember Spirit right now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's good. Ember had a bit of a tough time. They're going to grab a Aloha Dance.
Yeah,
ends up putting the brace on himself.
There's a grave.
Okay, that's going to buy him some time. Oh, and he flies right over the shards. This is looking really good. He's actually pretty high in HP. Just needs to kill the zombies. He's fine.
Yeah, they kill the Tombstone. Now CDEC's on the back foot. Cold Snap onto the Ember Spirit. He'll be able to make it back. They rupture him. Do they actually want to dive this?
He might get killed, actually.
Oh, he almost got silenced there. It was right on the edge of it. Always when a fly goes in way too deep. Doesn't have the shallow grave.
He's dead, though.
Nah.
Really good attempt there. They might throw the ult on Resolution. He's going to have Ghost Walk. Use it. And
they dust him.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. Laguna from Q sets it up. Nice and easy. So CDEC get 2 freebies out of that. Overcommitment from Empire once again.
Yeah, just a slight outplay, overestimating whether or not they can kill the Ember Spirit. He's just not vulnerable to Rupture in the slightest. It's pretty clear there. If that was any other hero that they ruptured, they definitely could have killed him, but not that guy.
Mech has come out on the Darkseer, though. Great timing on that. 10 minutes in. Brown Boot, Soul Ring bottle. Actually #1 on net worth in the entire game.
That will not stay the same for the rest of the game, but in this early part of the game, there's almost no hero that farms faster than Darkseer, so no huge surprise there.
And it is a hand of Midas on Silent, so he went Treads right into Midas. Still a very standard build here on the Bloodseeker, and an 11-minute Midas is still a pretty solid timing, all things considered.
I think that's really good. G was picking up most of the time around 8 minutes or so, maybe 6 in one of the more ridiculous games, so he's got to be happy with that considering the start.
And that's with Treads first?
Yep, Treads poor man, same build basically is what he's got right now. Just a couple of minutes earlier, and that's with owning his lane and getting, farming the whole time.
That's when you get 2 kills early on rather than getting killed twice, I think.
He might spot this Ember Spirit. He does see him. They knew he was here in the first place though because they had the ward there, but apparently they don't want to go and try on him.
He's got some backup here, but CDEC will just retreat. They did finish off the tier 1 tower down here in the bottom lane as well, so that levels out the tower count 1 apiece.
It looks like Empire wants to fight, but instead they shift Resolution back to the mid lane. He's pretty close to Orchid. He's had a really good early game. Only 40 CS though is sometimes typical of Invokers or mid heroes when you roam a little bit too much in the early game. Get those kills and it increases your GPM, but it reduces your CS by a bit.
Q bumps into Aloha Dance, misses both the Dragon Slave and the LSA, and the Wyvern will just fly away.
I like this Winter Wyvern build the best, the Max Splinter Blast one, because the nuke is very spammable. If your opponents start pushing, you can very easily clear the creep waves. And you can also just farm. If it's not safe to farm, you just shoot the blast just like this. Boom, 195 damage done to Lina that she's not going to get back anytime soon.
Yeah, can be a little bit mana intensive, but he has a Soul Ring, so that makes it very easy to spam and just continue pushing these waves in.
Exactly.
Top lane, Soul, Resolution goes in onto Aggressive, hits him with an EMP Tornado combo, one last auto attack, not enough. He sips the bottle, and it keeps him alive. Another close call, but Empire will be repelled without another kill on their side.
And how many times that guy got away just barely in these team fights? He's had so many close calls, and it could completely change the game if he was able to get those kills.
Yeah. Gardner trying to do what he can in the bottom lane. He's now level 6, picked up his Arcane Boots here on the Undying. He's had a pretty solid presence so far, 0, 1, and 4.
Really good stacking by the Lina. One of the things that she's been doing as she did get killed. Did they not get the D-ward? Yeah, they can see that.
Oh yeah, she just
say
doubled back there for a second.
That was weird.
But it looks like CDEC are just going to sack this tier 2 up top. They'll just let Resolution as well as Yoku just clear out the creep waves and take a freebie tier 2.
That's one of the earliest tier 2s I've ever seen. Especially this one, it's almost always defended, but it's guaranteeing that TA is able to take the Ancients, and that'll pick her up. Probably a Blink Dagger is most likely what she's aiming for.
Looks like 4 stack here, I think.
It's a good stack.
That's a big one.
Really good gold for her. But there's also pressure mid, so Empire's taking this advantage of saying, you're all off the map, fine, I'm just going to hit your towers. And they're doing that well.
They really are. Silent, still farming neutrals. They'll be on the high ground here. Do they have the vision? Nope, they gotta cut down those trees before they can see it. Yeah, they get a ward up on the high ground. Very aggressive from CDEC here, only 14 minutes in. So they definitely want to keep eyes on this Bloodseeker and possibly rotate and try and gank him.
Well, they found him. He's mid.
Yep, exactly. It's
what's the Blood Rage EMP Tornado sound? 200 damage for the EMP currently, and about 300 for the Tornado, so it's pretty good. 500 damage combo, boost that up by about 30%. That's damage reduction. Yeah. So
Blink Dagger is out on the Darkseer also, so now they have some initiation power.
That's so early. If you can grab a good wall vacuum, it could completely swamp this team fight. They denied the tower instead. Good read there. Blade Mail will be the next pickup for Bloodseeker. I like the choice versus the TA. Once you break her refraction charges, it's going to be really good answer, but the important part is breaking the refraction charges in the first place.
This Tusk doing a slightly different build from what we've seen more regularly. He's going for the Guardian Greaves here. Arcane Boots right into mech. So doing the kind of more utility support Tusk rather than that like Blink Dagger initiating style.
I think that's really smart because Empire has a Dazzle. Like the burst damage is great and all. You think like, oh, I'll beat the Dazzle by just bursting faster, but half the time it doesn't work, and then your Blink Dagger would much rather be a mech. They're gonna find each other in the smoke. Always want to fly going first. Really bad initiation for him at least, not able to grab himself, and the TP is coming from Empire. Oh, they're going to grab the vacuum. Maybe. Oh, they drain his mana. He can't jump.
Aggressive in a lot of trouble here. Snowball across. They need to be very careful against this Darkseer, but now they initiate in. Yoku taking huge damage. They've already lost their Winter Wyvern. They've lost their Darkseer as well. It's a disaster for Empire as they jump on Resolution 4-0 as CDEC erupt in the mid lane.
One of the downsides of the draft there is that they needed Bloodseeker to be the first one in. That way they can counter-initiate. They needed somebody up front, tanky, to take the hits and then turn around with the Blood Right and the Vacuum Wall and the EMP Tornado and all the good stuff. But CDEC completely split across and nobody got caught except for the Mana Burn on the Ember Spirit. It was just enough for Empire to sense blood, and they ended up overextending and getting completely cleaned up there.
I was surprised they took the fight.
Me too.
The real advantage there is that CDEC had the high ground. So Empire didn't really know exactly where they were, what was going on, other than their Dazzle died. All right, let's EMP Tornado and try and isolate the Ember Spirit. But the Darkseer got jumped on, his Blink got broken, and you know, it's a great pickup this early on, but if it gets broken when the fight starts, then it's a pretty big sunk cost that doesn't offer you much.
Yeah, you're just transferring your net worth back to your opponents when they do kill you, and at a slightly greater rate than before. So
good read from CDEC. They go right into the Roche Pit after that tier 1, and that's very early Aegis.
I mean, the fight could have definitely gone the other way if Empire played a little bit better, maybe with their positioning, didn't get caught on the Dazzle, but that's what happened, and that's a big advantage going to CDEC now.
So, Yasha on the Ember Spirit. Oh my, this is slightly different. I like it. Phase Boots, Drum, Yasha.
It's a Manta for the Orchid that Invoker is building, because otherwise it would be way too easy for Invoker to solo kill him.
Yeah.
If he didn't have his Flame Guard up, he could just very easily silence and finish him up. So, completely standard there. In this situation.
Yeah, I was going to say completely standard against Quaswex Invoker. And speaking of that Orchid, it is now completed. Good timing on that for Resolution as well. So there's still going to be this window before the Manta comes out, and there'll be quite a few opportunities for Resolution to find some pickoffs. I think once this gets to do his inventory, we'll just see Ghost Walk hunting for solo pickoffs as long as he can get away with it.
Bloodseeker's actually going for the full Sunjin Yasha build. He's not going to be building a BKB first. A little surprised about this, especially because his HP is slightly low right now. But that's his plan.
Okay. Well, going for these early combative items, that's for sure.
Doesn't make him good against Lina, and Tusk is a little bit scary as well, but BKB doesn't do a huge amount. It's pretty good against Ember Spirit, I guess, in the early game. Late game, it doesn't do much, but you know, a lot of Ember's damage right now is just magic and being able to Searing Chains you, so I'm a little unsure. Might see a gank here in the jungle, Invoker's Invis.
They might catch Shiki. Remember, he is the Aegis carrier, and the rest of his team smoked up right behind him. Could they find a catch here?
That was fast.
Oh, they burn a dust. They know that Resolution was nearby, but they still couldn't catch him.
Yeah, very smart for him to pass through. Like, it was hard to get that kill.
James onto Aloha Dance.
Oh, wow.
Well, he was immune to physical, but not quite the magical, so that'll be an easy pick off there.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Lina gets credit for that one.
Resolution couldn't have team fought that. Originally I thought, oh, EMP Tornado, easy. But I checked his skills and he was ready for the gank build. He used Ghost Walk obviously, and he had Cold Snap ready in case he found a solo hero, but instead they're all grouped up and they're not going to get picked off, and that's, you know, one of the counters to that ganking build. He spent all this money on items that could have been maybe a Midas, maybe could have been a build towards a Hex or something like that. Instead, gets nothing from it.
Well, now rotation down bottom. Silence seems to be the target of choice for CDEC, but a Blood Right will break up the fight and will have plenty of space. Ice Shards.
Can they catch somebody?
Just harassing a little bit.
Resolution wants to grab somebody, but it's a little tough. Tornado's picked up now. 16 seconds towards EMP if needed. Can he catch anyone? Throws the super long range tornado, catches Tusk only.
Orchid onto Lina on the low ground.
Oh, they rupture, okay.
But can they actually take this fight?
So
CDEC are ready to do it. Now Shiki goes in onto Resolution, hits him with a Melt Strike, and it's pretty big damage. Aggressive from the other side, but they don't have the detection. Instead, they'll go for Silent. He'll use the Blade Mail. And snowball forward. There's the Tombstone. Empire, they really want to commit to this fight. The EMP will do a little bit. Gardner, he gets caught by the Winter's, the ultimate there from the Winter Wyvern, and Aloha Dance will just barely stay alive on the other side of it. Laguna Blade out onto Resolution.
Oh, good grave.
Shallow Grave as well. Aggressive trying to finish him off. Won't be able to do it. Now he gets silenced. He'll turn the other way, but Q's there. It's this back and forth through the alleyway as now Always Want to Fly gets caught by the Searing Chains. No grave to save himself. He will die.
Oh, aggressive.
Finishes off aggressive. He might be able to get Q here as well. Darkseer caught
back
by
him
the
in
sun.
Gets him.
Nicely done. Triple kill for Yoku.
What a cleanup from the Darkseer. How often is the Darkseer the threat in the fight? But he really is this game, and he's actually pretty good against the TA as well. Throw the Ion Shell on somebody, bam, reflections are gone. Bounty Rune picked up by Resolution. He spots out Shiki. The Aegis is gone, but there is no way that he can deal with him when he only has 270 HP.
Another one of those really chaotic fights. It was all these little 1v1s back and forth until one team could make the power play and then the one would retreat. And in the end, it was just Yoku that cleaned house. Very nice.
So Guardian Greaves up on Darkseer now. That'll be very useful if anybody gets low, which is, you know, all the time with Grave. They can get that supercharged 15 HP per second and the 15 armor boost, which is really good against TA and very good against Ember Spirit as well.
Yep, also gets the mech on a slightly lower cooldown.
They saw always want to fly in the jungle. Oh, he's in trouble. He doesn't have...
TP on cooldown for 40 seconds. There's nowhere to go. Can Grave to buy himself a little bit of time, be a distraction, but yeah, Tusk even just body blocking him here for good measure. Good night, sweet Dazzle.
Good ward positioning for that. Spots him running through. That's the dangerous part about that ward. There's almost always a ward spotting you heading to that area, and then they may figure out that it's actually there later. Yeah, looks like, yep, Lina swings around. Obvious that he placed the ward in there, and very, very easy to ward.
Nice heads-up play there from Q. So even though CDEC are still behind, they're giving Empire a good run for their money here. Behind by only about 1,500 net worth. Darkseer as well as the Bloodseeker farming well, but everyone else on Empire struggling a little bit. The two supports in particular, oh my, the Dazzle is just so broke. He's got a medallion, but...
Yo, he's a rich Dazzle. What are you talking about, dude? This is great. That's like...
Okay, well, I guess it's really the Winter Wyvern that's broke thing, because they're both playing the 5 right now.
Yeah, Winter Wyvern usually has a bit more farm than this, but a lot of deaths are, wow, that's an easy Invoker kill.
Yeah.
They used Sleight of... Our Searing Chain, sorry, for the 2-second duration, means that even if he tries to go invis, he's going to get killed there, and he does get killed.
Yeah.
He has a hard choice here. He needs armor to deal with the TA, but he kind of needs a magic immunity. I feel like maybe a Force Staff is the option, but he kind of wants a Ghost as well because the TA can just blink meld on top of him, and a Force Staff will not stop that half of his HP damage that comes through. It's a tough Invoker game, honestly. He really needed to snowball hard from this Orchid, and I feel like it's going to have a lot of trouble shifting in the late game because he needs so many items right now.
I mean, frankly, he was doing better before he picked up the Orchid. Now that he's hunting around, CDEC seem like they know exactly what he's up to, and they are ready to deal with it. Maybe it's time Empire focus more on the team fight efforts rather than sending Resolution out on these solo missions.
I like what Silent's doing here, just hitting the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, putting some pressure on the other side of the map. CDEC looks like they'll be able to grab a tier 1 tower up top. Blip has already been used, and yeah, Shiki will secure the kill there. They're going to keep on going, try and force a reaction out of Empire. They'll start to rotate over. Oh, yep, 2 TPs back straight away. Their entire team, exactly what CDEC wanted.
Man, this Lina's playing so well. Remember when he died against the Dazzle? Well, he's 6-3 and 6 now. He's got a Eul Scepter. He's doing, with Arcane Boots and Euls, at 23 minutes as a support is really good. He actually has 57 CS. I don't know where the heck he got that, but
yeah,
he's been killing creeps, apparently.
Playing this very greedy forward. He spent some time in the jungle, and he's definitely picked up a lot of kills. Wow, you're right. He's been very active so far.
Deso up on TA. Ooh. Who's going to get one shot? Dazzle.
Definitely Dazzle. Not quite the Invoker, but that minus armor is really going to hurt.
Initiation mid. Comes the Orchid. Winter's Curse as well.
Aggressive, in some trouble here. Vacuum in. All right.
Buyback, though.
He wants to get back into this fight ASAP. He'll come around the backside, and
great
now Empire possibly in some trouble. Resolution will stay alive, but the rest of them taking a lot of damage. Dazzle will be Walrus Punch to the wall, just not doing enough. Undying, cleaning it up. A 3-for-1 if you count the buyback. And Winter Wyvern will stand his ground. No getting away from that one. Only the Darkseer will survive. Again, CDEC with a fabulous team fight. Man, they just making it look easy.
They just start things off, but they're getting rolled over immediately afterwards. It looked great for them after they killed the Ember Spirit, but they just died. They just tried to get away and nothing happened. Nothing worked. Tulsa chased. TA jumps forward, blows people up, even like a Tombstone. They just have very good run at them heroes, and I feel like Empire's lacking tanky aggressive heroes. Like maybe if they had a like a bristleback instead of a bloodseeker. Like, imagine how different the game would be if they had a bristle instead of a bloodseeker, I feel. Like, obviously they picked the blood early, so they're committed to it, but they need someone that can be up in the front that at least limits CDEC running at their team, because it's all squishy heroes like Invoker, Winter Wyvern, Dazzle. Like, the Grave is obviously buys them some time, but if they can't stabilize during that Grave duration, it doesn't do anything other than buy 5 seconds on somebody's life.
You know, you look at this Dark, you say, well, he could be that tanky frontliner, but that's also not really a possibility. You need him to counter-initiate for the wall vacuum. You absolutely need that damage, and you also need to make sure that he can use the Guardian Greaves to help out the team. If he's the one in the front line, then he's kind of meching himself rather than the team.
Yeah, and that's less efficient. And his damage isn't as big of a threat as a hero like Bristleback. So if you have somebody that's super tanky but you do no damage, then the enemy team just ignores you, and that's fine. And that's basically what Darkseer would do. He's just got Ion Shell damage pretty much. So it's a hard fight. They need to initiate perfectly, and they need to get the kills on the important cores.
Yep. Alright, Empire, they're smoked up, but turns out to be a pretty defensive smoke here as they just head back to their own jungle. CDEC are starting to take control here, and they've actually taken the biggest goal lead that they've had so far this game. Only about 2,500, but a sign that momentum is definitely going their way. This Undying now has a Glimmer Cape as well as a Gem of True Sight. A lot of mobility tools here, and another way to deal with this Invoker, who's now just picked up a Blink Dagger.
And the Manta's up on the Ember Spirit now, so he doesn't have to worry about the silence anymore. He's going to be pretty happy with that one. Blink Dagger on, okay, Blink on, I like that, I like that. It's kind of a solution. Basically get away from that guy, and it can dodge the attack from Templar Assassin. Her projectile speed's pretty low, so he'll definitely be able to dodge those attacks. Might get spotted first, though. He's got his Blink now, but then gets initiated on, throws the Tornado, but he dodges it. Cold Embrace as well. He's going to have Ghost.
They're coming around the other side. Empire are not ready for this. Snowball forward. They've already lost their Invoker. Now they're Dazzle. Oh, maybe they can turn it with the wall. Okay, Winter's Curse does bring down the Tusk.
Cheeky as well, might die, maybe.
Just back up and kind of reset here. He's still alive
the
for
Blade Mail
now.
reflecting damage, but
and he's so low, he falls. They just do it. Now Yoku, he gets taken off as well. The Winter Wyvern just barely survives.
His team fights are just looking so one-sided.
And Tusk also buys back again.
Tusk did?
Yeah, Tusk bought back.
Oh, okay.
He definitely died in that fight, that's for sure. So he'll buy back, and it'll be another Roche. This is just looking disastrous for Empire.
Yeah. I feel like there's no Bloodseeker synergy in their draft here. Like, yeah, Ion Shell lowers people's HP and he's faster, but you know, he had such a bad laning stage, he didn't get anything out of his lane, then he had to shift to jungle, then he slowly jungled, then he got killed twice, and he's got all these items, but he really needs a BKB, because once he gets stunned once, he stops auto-attacking, and he's not doing anything else after that. Like, he could actually just chase down Ember Spirit and threaten Ember Spirit with a 5-shot or something. He could be hitting TA and breaking refraction charges or something, but as soon as he gets snowballed, he just dies, because Lena's going to follow up, and everybody's HP is too high at this point for his Blade Mail to actually be viable.
Yeah. BKB coming out for the Bloodseeker, but still doesn't have the Mithril Hammer. Tier 2, 1 of 2 outer remaining towers for Empire, about to get turned to rubble here by CDEC. I like the way CDEC are doing this. They're taking objectives, but they're not really overcommitting. They're happy with these little victories and just go back to farming. Playing very controlled here, even though they are getting a lot of momentum. It seems like just a few minutes ago, TA got this Desolator. Now she has a completed BKB.
They're not even little victories. They're moderate to large victories every single time. They're like four-man kills kind of the stuff, and it's going to put Empire in a place where they're just going to have to start doing smoke inks and hoping for the best, because they are very, very quickly losing this game.
Yeah. Somehow, still the Bloodseeker and Darkseer are #1 on net worth, but the rest of the team falling further and further behind. The Winter Wyvern and Dazzle getting further behind the supports of CDEC. And I mean, can we even call this Lena a support at this point? She's got 2,400 gold and a Yule Scepter. I mean, she is pretty scary.
Empire going to get spotted there. There's a trap on the Winter Wyvern. He's going to try to TP. It doesn't work.
Yeah, definitely not happening. Resolution, he'll TP out, as will Yoku. So they do kind of delta split into the trees. Oh. Long TP for Resolution. Almost got caught there, actually.
And those are all kills due to traps. Like, that's very good trap positions. They're not really at too many typical spots other than the rune spot. And it's not even at large camps either, where they're expecting people to farm. It's where they're expecting people to walk. There's a huge choke point up in the enemy jungle here. They're very likely to walk through this path if they're trying to not be found. Same thing goes for this one. Little tiny paths here and there, and they put the traps on them so they can spot the enemy heroes so that they don't need observer wards to see where they are.
Yeah, great point. All right, CDEC spread out right now. Only one outer tower remaining. Looks like Shiki will just do a little bit of pressure on it as the Undying secures his Solar Crest. Just more and more utility items. Shiki still has this Aegis of the Immortal, though. Oh, actually a lot of time. 2.5 minutes on it still. Empire struggling to kill tier 1 towers right now in the bottom lane. EMP does connect on aggressive, so he'll be forced back. But CDEC splitting up the map very effectively here, Purge.
It's still really tough for him to blink dodge anything. They do get the tower, which is good for him, but level 13 doesn't have any exhorts yet. He probably, you know what he really needs is a Deafening Blast here. It'll be really good when he gets his exhort level, because the Deafening Blast skill will be able to disarm for up to 4 seconds, and CDEC's very right-click heavy. That works for Ember Spirit, that works for TA, prevents him from attacking. But TA's got that whole BKB thing that kind of makes that harder, but yeah, it's another solution. Empire's in trouble, or Silence in trouble, actually. No BKB for him. He reflects some damage, but...
Another easy pick off. And does he actually have the BKB completed? He does. It was on the courier, though. That's a little bittersweet there.
I don't know if I would have even kept him alive, honestly.
Yeah,
it was looking bad either way.
Well, Empire trying to split here as Resolution and Yoku put some damage onto that tier 2, but CDEC are charging right up the high ground. They go in onto the Winter Wyvern. Cold Embrace as well as the Shallow Grave buys him some time, but Shiki uses the BKB, wants the Wyvern, but can't finish him off. Compliments of that Glimmer Cape. And this 10-second BKB from Shiki, a little bit underwhelming. Still with the Bloodseeker down, CDEC may continue to siege, or not. They'll rotate up top and go for the easy tower.
I think they landed the EMP on the Ember Spirit as well, so it really limits his ability to do things. He's actually a very mana-intensive hero. Searing Chains and Flame Guard, that's 220 mana. Every Sleight of Fist is 50, and if he wants to use his ult, it's 150. Mantle 165 as well. He really needs much more than 300 mana points to be effective in a team fight, so that's probably why they backed off.
Yeah. And just like that Chaos, one of the reasons Drums is a core item on the Ember Spirit for most builds.
Yep.
The movement speed also helps, but yeah, that mana pool is definitely an issue. So outer tower is all dead here for Empire. It's just high ground that they need to defend. And this is where space around the map for them becomes difficult. You take a look at Dire Vision, and they've got very aggressive wards. And this is not even side traps, just ward coverage all over Empire's jungle. So if they leave that base, CDEC will have eyes on it, and they'll be looking to gank.
They're positioned waiting for it. Ember Spirit comes back, grabs Silent on the mid lane. Does he have BKB? He does this time. Will he pop it? No Rupture just yet. Cast Rupture now, BKB, and now that's it. Ember Spirit's finally going to die, I think, here. Throws another hit. He doesn't get him. I can't believe it. It was so close. That would have given him like a full heal or something.
And now on the other side, Yoku trying to run for it. Looks like he will make it out. Shiki doing a lot of damage onto Aloha Dance. Cold Embrace buys him some time, but now the Cavalry's here. Another Grave will buy the Wyvern some time, but just time is all. He'll end up falling. Now Resolution gets dove on in the base. No escape, and Empire feeling like their options are limited here. Searing Chains on 2. Dazzle dies, and this is about to be a 5-0 wipe. That's it, all in the grave. There are a couple of buybacks here, but Empire may be tempted to just tap out and go to the next game at this rate. This is turning into a bloodbath. Here we go, double buybacks used. They will fight it out.
Still got it. They're not giving up yet. They've got Vacuum Wall as well, so Tornado comes through, doesn't catch the Ember Spirit.
All right, CDEC, they're not going to stop here. They don't no longer have the Aegis. That was a refuse, but okay, now we go in. Yoku doing some good damage, finishes off the tusk, but it will cost him his own life. Darkseer's down, now Resolution on the run, a lot of damage coming his way. Laguna Blade will finish him off.
That's gotta be.
That's it, GG.
Man, Empire was in such a good position in the early game, but CDEC basically just did the 5-man strat, and the hard carries of Empire weren't there. It's a Bloodseeker. Again, Bloodseeker shows that late game, he's not comparable to a typical hard carry. Yeah, you've got Rupture, yeah, you can snowball with it, but he shows his weakness again, and CDEC plays around it. Prevent the ganks, and your farm is mediocre at best.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw that the weakness of Invoker just in general on
that as well, yes.
You know, we talked about the difference